So welcome back.
The answer.
The answer. Chapter 7, the famous Chapter 7, the storied Chapter 7. So we were waiting a long time for this one. It was a lot of work, but it was huge. It was a big deal.
Good. Yeah.
So Chapter 7 is where we go through the neural reconditioning process. And they break down figuring out what your mental limitations are. Actually, here we go. We'll just talk about the 6 steps real quick.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay. Yeah.
So step 1, create a new vision of your financial and business success. Make it emotionally rich and crystal clear. So that one...
I think that was difficult for me.
Yeah.
Like, I have a vision of what a day in the life looks like,
Mhm.
right? And there's some, like, the emotion that is felt normally is, like, peace and joy, excitement, right? But that's just a single day. It's not like, it doesn't encompass the rest of the, the stuff that goes into getting to that day, or, I don't like.
So in other words, like, because your day in a perfect world doesn't revolve around finances or a business necessarily.
Yeah.
It's very hard for you to visualize emotionally the excitement and joy of your financial and business success.
You got it.
That makes perfect sense. And kind of same, honestly. Kind of same. And this is, I think, actually, I didn't realize that until just now, but I bet a bunch of my resistance and difficulty with that, because I enjoy business.
Yeah,
so it
know.
shouldn't be difficult for me.
Yeah.
And I was just realizing, I think the imposter syndrome in business,
Okay.
paired with my childhood experience of money,
Oh, right.
I think have sort of coalesced into this sort of inner resistance to money can be a wonderful, beautiful, exciting experience.
Right.
And business is something I can be amazing at. Those two ideas just run conflict to what my brain tells me my life experience is. So I think I'm fighting myself every step of the way on that.
Good revelation.
Yeah, thanks. Step 2, create powerful declarations and affirmations that support that new vision. This was easy for me. This was actually relatively easy for us, I think.
Yeah, in the sense that, like, those did not have to equate to the business from step 1 for me.
Right.
Like, for instance, I mean, I want to have financial freedom, and I want to live the life of my choosing, right? Like, that does not necessarily, I don't need a vision of financial success to have that affirmation, right? Especially since we're a partnership, like, you can have your vision and I'll just reap the benefits of this financial success.
Well, and yeah, I get that. I think it was easier for me than most of the rest of this was, just because we've created affirmations so many times in our lives. But it felt relatively natural. And honestly, I was really grateful for that experience, because it was one step in this process that was very natural and very easy for me. So it gave me a little bit more comfortability with the process overall, like a little more confidence with it.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
Step 3 was develop emotional anchors for neural linking. This one was super hard for me.
Okay, so finding the emotional anchors, like thinking of them, that like came like that for me, right? But in the practice of this, right, like of taking the affirmation and linking it to the emotions, that part has been a difficult practice. Like, I have really been trying
100%,
every day,
100%,
and I can call up the emotion or I can say the affirmation. But getting them together has been a difficulty for me.
Yeah, I have also had oil and water related issues with that whole thing. I had a lot of challenge finding an emotional anchor to begin with, because so for those of you who don't know, my relationship with my father, who's deceased, is complicated. For a lot of reasons we won't go into now, but one of them being that he was, in my estimation at least, whether that's fair or not, the kind of person who would count every chicken before it was hatched. And so, like, I grew up hearing a lot of his bragging and him showing off paychecks to me and things like that, to show me what's possible, not long before he declared personal bankruptcy. And it had a huge impact on my psyche for whatever reason. I have no idea why that mattered so much to me. But so as a result, my entire adulthood, I have been terrified of ego. I've been desperately seeking some feeling of achievement or good enoughness in life while constantly denying myself that emotion. Just out of fear that the moment I'm proud of myself, I will fall. And as a result, I don't climb up very high. So, finding when they focused this idea of emotional anchors on find a memory in which you were incredibly proud of yourself and thrilled with your success and whatever, I was like, can you? Let me know what it is, please.
I think I helped with that, right?
You did. I figured out that in my coding boot camp,
so ridiculous.
I got an API to work for the first time, and I got a response package back in JSON, and I was able to deconstruct it and understand that some of the keys and the values.
Okay, enough. Enough. Don't like that.
I'm sorry. I know.
You shouldn't poke at it when it's like. See, this is the problem with the ego.
It is. That's a perfect example, yes. Perfect example.
Like, you can't just own that.
Here's something I'm proud of, and I'm such a nerd for it. What are you doing?
Right. Like,
what am I in high school?
You are.
With myself?
Yes. You just.
I need to report myself to the
principal's office?
Yes. Maybe the woke police on social media, because honestly, I'm an ass.
All right. We knew that already.
Step 4. Prepare a portfolio of imprinting material, which may include written, auditory, visual, and subliminal pieces, none of which I have done.
I haven't done that either. Just calling it out there. I'm still stuck on step 3.
Yeah, we just keep slapping our faces into this whole step 2 meets step 3 thing.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I guess step 1 and step 3 meet. Yeah, step 2 is how we're supposed to speak 1 and 3 into
existence. Yes. Thank you.
But that'll be supported by the constant reinforcement around us of the step 4 materials.
Yes, step 4 materials.
And that's
important.
That is so freaking huge. That is so important. And that's the part of like what we did right the first time.
Oh, yeah.
That I just keep forgetting and putting on the back burner, and I don't know why. I may stop everything I'm doing today to just focus on that, honestly. Because when we were manifesting this place, I had freaking subliminal programs on my computer, on my laptop, running like subliminal messages in the background the whole time I was working on my machine. We had a couple of vision boards.
Oh, we had a vision board.
We would like post affirmations in different places on Post-it notes and stuff like that, or written on mirrors with dry erase marker and stuff like that.
I forgot about all that stuff.
I had stuff posted in my car on the headliner or the what is it called?
The visor.
Visor, thank you. On the visor, the back of the visor. So every time I put it down to block the sun, I would read that affirmation. We had all this stuff, and the reason that's so hugely important is because everything in our society tells us this is what all of your goals should be, and this is what you need to buy in order to get there. And because we have this constant reinforcement that we're not enough, that there's more we should do, that there's more out there for us in life if we just achieve this or we just afford that or whatever, there's not a lot telling us that we are successful, we are good enough, and that we can achieve anything we want. So when you're trying to convince yourself of that, your subconscious brain is receiving constant affirmation the other direction, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. Even just from things as dumb as, what you didn't realize you read on a sign as you were driving by. So to consciously choose to pour all of this reinforcement in that tells us something opposite, tells us a story that allows us to achieve these things is a really big deal. It's really important. I keep forgetting that.
Okay, well, you'll be working on that.
Yes, I will. Before moving on to step 5, maintain a brief daily routine of reconditioning techniques 3 times a day, on waking, midday, and before bed.
Okay, just so we know, I have been trying to do steps 1 and 3 several times a day.
I feel like that counts. I feel like that takes that oil and water in that bottle 3 times a day. She's like,
I'm shaking it up, man. Shaking it up.
Yeah, I have been terrible about the consistency on this. And honestly, that was why I became a personal trainer originally. was because it was the only thing I had found that I could like discipline myself to. And if I didn't do it for a living, if I wasn't getting paid to do it, I knew I wouldn't discipline myself to it. Spoiler alert, it turned out I was right. But I could work on the consistency. I need to set timers. I need to set alarms.
Yeah, those are helpful.
That's the way. I know better. If Google doesn't tell me to do it, it doesn't happen. Employ various forms of neurotechnology to reinforce these images throughout the day. Is that what they mean? I don't remember, to be honest with you. It's been a minute since we finished this chapter, and I kind of...
Yeah.
Meditation, brain waves.
Yeah, that's all the stuff to help
Step 5, reconditioning your routine.
Yeah.
Or your neural reconditioning routine.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the 3 times a day thing. Where's the step 6 thing? Hang on. Please hold. Shifting gears in your brains, meditation, how to meditate. Step 6, using neurotechnology.
Yeah.
So it was just the other stuff I was talking about besides vision boards.
Yeah. And do it anyway. That's important.
Oh my gosh. Field it out and do it anyway. That was the most challenging part the first time that we manifested successfully. It was, you have to almost literally lie to yourself for long enough that you believe it in order to make it work. And that was very, very difficult for me at first. And it took me a while to finally settle on, because my brain just doesn't accept that, to finally settle on Philadelphia lawyering my brain into accepting it. Like rewording the exact way that I'm getting that point across in such a way that it isn't technically a lie.
Oh, yeah.
Because my unconscious brain does recognize rational logic, apparently, I guess. I like at one point in time, my memory for names was awful, and I became an absolute steel trap there for a while. By just telling people all the time.
Oh, I'm great with names.
I apologize. I just need you to repeat a couple more times for me, or I'm going to repeat it a couple more times for you, just so you know. I used to be terrible with names. I'm getting better about it, but it used to be a real challenge, so not trying to make it weird. And I'd repeat their name a couple times back to them, and having said that out loud was actually more impactful than repeating the thing
name
back to them.
Yeah.
Because I had tried just repeating the name back before, and that didn't work because I know I'm bad at names. So every time I learned a new name, reinforcing that I'm always getting better with names, which technically should be true.
Yeah.
I actually became fantastic with names. That was phenomenal.
You could remember.
I could fire off the last 12 people we met at a party to the next 13th person we met like it was nothing. Not anymore, but muscles.
It does help when you
don't
interact with people.
I couldn't name for you the last 12 people I came across in life.
That's because they're all sticking to themselves and not sharing their name.
Ouch.
Sorry. He doesn't get
I'm
out
the
much.
problem with my self-esteem.
He doesn't get out much.
I don't. Yeah, I'm a bit of a home. I actually read an article in The Atlantic about that recently. Apparently that started as a trend in general in like 2003. And
staying at home?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it got slowly, and then the pandemic hit, and it's not come back. All right, folks. Well, hopefully you read Chapter 7. Hopefully you're doing some of those things, especially in these times. Manifesting the things you actually want is really important when you're surrounded by lots of news about things you don't want. So, yeah, focus on what you can control. And we love you. And
your circle of influence.
Yes, exactly.
Stay in your circle of influence.
Stephen Covey?
Yes. Yeah.
Couldn't remember if that was Covey or Maxwell. All right. We'll see you soon.